Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Hoard, the radio voice of the Cincinnati Bengals and the former voice of the Pawtucket Red Sox from 2006 to 2011. During that time, the incredibly talented folks from Cox Sports had the crazy idea of putting a microphone on the manager of the Pawsox while he was coaching third base and broadcasting it live. The highly entertaining and unpredictable manager of the Pawsox at the time was Ron Johnson. Later, Tory Luvolla took over in Pawtucket before becoming the National League Manager of the Year with the Arizona Diamondbacks. 3 Emmy Awards later, here we are with a truckload of great TV that we look forward to sharing with you. So while we all wait for live baseball to resume, we hope you'll enjoy the best of Wired.
And time now for our version of reality TV. It's our Wired segment featuring the manager of the Pawtucket Red Sox, Ron Johnson, who is wired for sound in the third base coach's box. RJ, let's get right to it. What has it been like today with the added media attention and having Big Papi in your clubhouse?
Oh, it's been unbelievable. It's great. Look at this place. You got the cameras going off. You couldn't even get to the screen today to throw batting practice. There's so many people in here. We had to move the circle of trust out to center field.
Which is a daily ritual of yours as you gather your players together and have some fun, talk about the news of the day, and Big Papi was right in the middle of things.
He was beautiful.
Big swing there by Papi, and the count goes to no balls, 2 strikes. You threw him batting practice today. How did he look from that vantage point?
He looked fine. You know what? First of all, if he can hit my batting practice, he's ready to go. But because he hit one, I thought I was going to hit him in the kneecap. But he's got to he's no different than everybody else. You got to see pitches. It's to get your timing back, get back on the plate, or getting into the batter's box and seeing pitches and different speeds. But it's been pretty exciting, as you guys well know. It's a little nice boost in the arm, and a little star power showed up today. And I always thought it was you, Dan.
Yeah, well, now you know. Now the truth is out.
Well, I thought it was Bob.
Well, there's some truth to that. Count goes to a ball and 2 strikes to Big Papi.
I got news for you. If the media was ever around me, our ball club was in trouble. Because that mid-fist probably was hurt and I had to play. Not good. Fun, but not good.
Let's see what we can do here. It's hard doing the wire segment because we haven't had David Ortiz in there yet. Plus, I can't even hardly hear you guys with the cheering down here.
Fans are chanting, Papi, Papi. Ortiz crushes one to right, and that wrist looks A-okay. Big Papi homers in his second at bat. A line drive that barely got off the ground before landing in the bullpen, and manager Ron Johnson is ready with a high five.
Hey, baby.
You can only imagine how much he wanted to do this in one of these at-bats tonight. And that ball just barely was high enough to get out of here. He hit it so hard. Vasquez looked like he tried to get him out with a changeup. The pitch was 78 miles per hour, down just a little bit, and out of here.
Are you guys back?
Yeah, well, how about you?
Yeah, we had to shut down there for a minute, so I couldn't. It was a little loud down here, boys.
Heart's pumping a little bit down there, I imagine.
Well, I feel good now. I feel like my BP was a success.
Count goes to 2 balls and no strikes on Chris Carter. So you'll be filing a report after the ball game tonight?
Absolutely.
And based on what you just saw, what will you have to say about David Ortiz?
Well, that thing got out of here so quick, I really didn't get a chance to see it. I'll probably have to go back on the video. That was hit pretty good, too.
Line drive single to right for Chris Carter. RJ, if Big Papi has a huge game tonight, say hits another home run, 2 home runs, or just for the sake of asking, is there a chance that this is it for his rehab?
Well, I don't get involved in that, Dan. I mean, that's something that the between Tito and Theo, and those guys make those decisions. I mean, I was really glad to see today that he was able to come out and we can get him his work, and he can come down here and do what he needs to do to get himself ready. Everybody asked me today, how exciting is it to see David Ortiz here? Well, to me, the biggest thing exciting to see is we know that if he's playing here, he's not that far off from playing in Fenway. That one's hit pretty good too.
George Kataris blasts one into the bleachers in right, and the Pawsox have a 3-0 lead.
How about George will swing?
Did you throw BP to George today?
Actually, yes, I did. I'm having a good day right now.
Well, there's 3 straight Pawsox hitters now that have absolutely laced the baseball. 2 of them out of the park. George Kataris following the home run by Ortiz to start the inning, and this ball is deep in right center field, and a quick 3-0 Pawsox lead.
Yeah, I've had a pretty good BP so far today, huh?
Yes, you have. Homer number 17 for George Kataris. And the Pawsox have taken a 3-0 lead leading to this visit to the mound by pitching coach A.J. Sager. I thought one of the interesting questions asked prior to the game in your office today, RJ, was if you thought the Toledo Mud Hens would pitch to Big Papi, and you kind of paid tribute to their manager, Larry Parrish, when giving your answer.
Oh, no doubt. Larry's the ultimate pro. I mean, he's been around a long time, a lot of years in big leagues. I personally really enjoy. I haven't enjoyed the last couple of years because I never win, but it's always fun when LP's in the house. And no, I've only seen that one time in my 16-year career where somebody actually walked a guy down on rehab like that, and that's not the way to go.
Here's Jeff Corselletti in his Pawsox debut. The count is a ball and a strike, and tell us what you've heard about Jeff.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's got some very impressive numbers down there in Portland. I mean, the Eastern League's not a big offensive league. Some of those ballparks, I spent some time down there, and his average home runs, RBIs, he's got what I've heard about Jeff, he has a good knowledge of the strike zone. His on-base percentage was good down there.
No play for catcher Max St. Pierre. It's 2-2 to Corselletti.
I think he was a little overamped his first at bat, because it was funny because we were coming out here before the game, and I said, "Okay, kid, just go out and enjoy yourself. All I want you to do is make sure when you get in the batter's box, give me a look so I can give some signs." Well, the last at bat when Kataris was on first base, I don't think he looked down here once.
Count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, your ball club's in first place, and yet you're getting reinforcements, not only Corselletti, but Michael Bowden, who joins your starting rotation.
Well, I think it's oh, that's going to fall. Maybe not. Come on. Oh, yeah, we're in. Let me see if I get the ball here.
4 straight hits for the Pawsox here in the bottom of the 4th. Keith Ginter coming up next. And another look at Jeff Corselletti's first AAA hit. Will flare off the end of the bat just beyond the grasp of the diving right fielder Cleveland.
Now, it's always nice to get that out of the way. I remember about 100 years ago when I played, you go up to a level, you want to get that first hit out of the way, you want to feel like you're part of the team, and that's a good one right there.
Vasquez fakes the pickoff move. Edgar Martinez had a huge pickoff for you in the top half of this inning.
He sure did. I tell you what, because last inning, Edgar's throwing the ball really well, but pitchers are going to go through those times when they may struggle a little bit with the command, and something like that can really turn things around, as it did that inning. I've heard Corselletti can run a little bit. What do you think?
I know last year he had quite a few stolen bases.
Well, it's 1-0. I don't know about that. You guys want to do something here?
What do you think,
Let him
Bonnet?
see one more pitch. You might get him in a driver's count here.
Oh, good call, Bob. That's why that's why you're up to the booth, baby.
Oh, no. Now you can do whatever you want.
Well, I haven't done a whole lot of hit and runs this year, so we probably won't do that.
No.
But how about I'll do a nice leg kick here, make it look like we're going to do something.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
It was graceful.
Oh, you see that. Ooh, see, we got a pickoff throw.
Corselletti had 20 stolen bases a year ago.
They do a little follow-up right there. See, now they really think we got something going on.
Actually, Ginter is the kind of hitter who might take advantage of that hole on his own over there on the right side.
I think he's going to let it fly.
Three and 0 to Ginter. Swinging or taking?
Oh, I'm swinging. Yeah, we're swinging right here. I'll tell you what, you know what, he's battled. I don't know if I've had a player hit as many balls on the screws as Keith Ginter has and have them be caught.
Didn't have to swing, it was high ball 4. That'll bring Gil Velasquez to the plate. Gil grounded into a force play his first time up, and now that Jed Lowry is up with Boston, Gil's going to play almost every day for you, RJ.
Yeah, he probably is. You want a bunt here?
No.
I am. What do you think of that move, boys?
That's a good one. You got a left-hander coming up, and in the top of your order with some power up there, you get as many runs as you can get.
Ooh. That's not what we're looking for right there. Now we're going to do it for sure. No, this is one of those things right here. We scored 3, but you've got nobody out. If we can get these runners over here in scoring position and we get JV and Bailey up next.
You're almost certain to get one out of those.
I believe a lot of times, Bob, I think when the game, there's right times to do things during the game. And in this situation, now we don't have to, come on. But I mean, in this situation, Gil is pretty much a glove guy. He's came up with some big hits, but he got a bunt right there. That boy Corso, way to get out of the way. There's a wild pitch. Hey, I'm wired this inning, so don't, you know how it is.
Jeff's wired now after getting that hit.
Make it be through. Good tag on a fly ball, make the ball be through. No, but I get back to what I was saying. I think sometimes the game is asking you to do something, and you need to do it.
Ripped foul by Velasquez. The count's 1-2.
Come on, Gilly.
There's nothing wrong with playing a nice combination of big ball and little ball, especially in the same inning. What's
absolutely.
wrong with it?
That's what I was getting at. You know, you've gotten the big hits, you got the 2 homers. Now you've got 2 guys on, nobody out. Gil's at the plate. I mean, if he's in the big leagues, there's a chance right there they're going to say, hey, move those guys over.
Two and 2 to Velasquez. Jonathan Ben Every waits on deck. Home runs by David Ortiz and George Katars, giving Pawtucket a 3-0 lead. And there is warm-up activity going in the bullpen with Vasquez giving up 4 hits
This is my
so
wired
far here in the
segment.
4th.
You got your first hit on the wired segment. That's a good sign, Corso. That's wired. You might be the good luck guy for the wired segment.
3 and 2 to Velasquez. Either Corso or Big Poppy, one or the other.
Yeah, that's a good point. I got all these players out here looking at me like I'm crazy because I'm talking to myself.
Not the first time.
Hey, so how you feel over there tonight? You look great. Fly ball, catch it over there, catch it over here. Come on, Gilly. That'll work.
Chase hit into center.
Come on. We gotta hurry.
Here comes a throw to the plate. Not in time. 5-0 Pawtucket.
What a way for a batter to redeem himself, being asked to sacrifice. Didn't get the job done. A wild pitch moves them over, and then Velasquez gets the base hit up the middle, and he attacks one of the strongest throwing arms probably in the International League. Cleet Thomas has a very strong arm, gets a good charge on it, good release, just simply not in time. So a big inning in the works here with run after run after run, now 5.
Still nobody out. You saw RJ trying to fix his microphone after waving Keith Ginter in from second base. And the first pitch to Van Every is in for strike 1.
Am I back on the mic? Can you hear me?
You sound great.
There you go.
We are now going to see a replay of you waving the runner in.
And grabbing my mic.
So aggressively that your mic comes flying off.
That's because I'm getting so skinny, it's not sticking in my pockets anymore.
Well, you just have to put that weight back on then.
Oh, I will. I was a little worried about that too, but you know what? The nice thing about that situation, Bob, he does have a good arm, but...
Find out how good it is.
Well, you got a veteran at second base. You got a nice aggressive secondary lead. We got the infield in, and it worked.
Van Every strikes out for the first out here in the bottom of the 4th, and Jeff Bailey will be coming up. Did you have a chance to watch any of your All-Stars last night?
No, I sure didn't. I've been asked that question a few times today, and I was getting some updates over the computer, but you know, I got all women in the house except for me, and I don't mean that with any disrespect, but my little girls really didn't want to watch the game.
Hard to blame them. They get enough baseball in their summer.
No, I think we ended up watching something on like Hannah Montana or something like that.
There you go. Oh, sure, it was your daughters. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was right there with them singing along.
0-2 to Jeff Bailey.
Well, Bridget, my 9-year-old, she pretty much takes control of the remote.
Well, why can't a manager have a couple of days off too and get away from the game? I'm sure that's
no, it really was.
Thing.
It is.
Sure
you know what?
is.
I think the break comes at a good time. I've said this before. I don't think I work for a living because I love what I do, but there is a grind with every day. And it's nice to get a little break in the scenery. Especially those of us that got a bunch of kids, got to go home and see them. Come on, Bales.
Two and two to Jeff Bailey. That was the 33rd pitch this inning for Virgil Vasquez.
Yeah, that's a lot. I would think he's probably getting close. If they lose him here, he probably...
He only needed 38 to get through the first 3.
Yeah, here Martinez didn't look like they'd really broken a sweat up to this point.
Oh.
Velasquez gets back.
That's the first time I've ever seen a pitcher throw a ball away and had a scuff on it. They're trying to figure out some way to get a scuff on it.
I always tell our catchers, you know, George and Brownie, and I know the umpires that tell them to give him the ball, but I think the same thing, Bob.
Oh.
You know, one will hit, and I'm like, don't throw it to him. Throw it back to the pitcher.
Yeah, get it back to him as quick as you can.
Absolutely. I made that mistake one time as a player, and I was a cup of coffee guy at best, but it was one of my cups of coffee in the big leagues with Kansas City, and Gaylord Perry was pitching, and I was playing first, and I caught the throw from the infielder in the first inning, and I was going to flip it to the umpire, and I got about halfway up, and I mean, he was undressing me. That ball does not go to the umpire.
Don't
ever.
destroy the evidence.
And I was like, oh, okay. I couldn't hardly even throw it.
You want to know that scuff on it so the Vaseline would be on there a little bit easier. It'd be easier keeping up.
Absolutely. I was just trying to catch it.
2-2 to Bailey. 1 out, a runner at first. 5 runs in here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Foul tip nearly caught by St. Pierre, but it's still 2-2.
RJ, how about the move for Martinez now, going from behind the plate to a reliever, and now seems to be in quite a nice comfort zone as a starter?
You know, and I've had him through it all because he was my catcher in Portland, and then we converted him that year to a reliever and went back down, and of course he kind of shot back up through the system. I don't know, but you know, knock on wood, and I don't want to put a jinx on him because he's still in the game, but he's taken to the role. And I know he makes me feel very comfortable out there.
It looks very comfortable.
Bailey hammers one high and deep to left, and you can forget about it. What an inning. 7 in so far. RJ, we're making up for all of those scoreless innings earlier this year.
We're making up for the last 2 or 3 years. There we are.
3 home runs in the inning. Big Poppy, George Gutaris, and Jeff Bailey. And Virgil Vasquez is finished.
Well, just as good as Vasquez was the first 3 innings, he just could not find the control spot. High changeup on the 2-2 count, and Jeff Bailey, with his 24th home run, now has 3rd spot in the International League in the home run department, all by himself. And this all started with the round tripper by Big Poppy Ortiz.
And Big Poppy out in front in the dugout to be the first person to congratulate first Gil Velasquez after he scored, and then Jeff Bailey, who hit the home run, knocking Vasquez out of the ball game. Well, RJ, shades of your game just before the All-Star break. You had an 8-run inning in a win over Norfolk, 10-3, and you've got 7 so far in the 4th inning tonight.
Tell you what, that's a couple good innings right there, Dan. That one in Norfolk, we needed it too, because I mean, you can look at records sometimes, and that ball club's record's deceiving because they're much better than their record would indicate. So you saw it the first couple of days, we couldn't get on the board. So
it meant a lot more to you. Now, we were talking in your office today about games that are coming up to an all-star break, how tough it is sometimes to keep your focus. Guys are making plans to get out or get here or get there, and that was probably as big a game as you could have had in the way it wound up there for you, was it not?
No, it's a big game, Bob. I mean, it's momentum and creating momentum and keeping it. And, you know, these guys, it's a grind. I mean, when they're in the middle of February and they go to camp and you go up to that point, and I'm no different than them. You're looking at those all-star days and guys are making plans, but as a manager, my biggest concern is that we don't lose. You know, you got to fight through and keep that focus until the break. And when you're on the road, it's easier here at McCoy. I mean, all you got to do is look out the booth and you'll know why, because we've got these fans which are phenomenal, and there's passion here, and the people get excited. So that makes my job a lot easier. But when you're on the road and you got a sparse crowd and you can get that feeling, and you got to really work to keep them from, punching a clock, and we don't want that.
How do you do that? Do you do it by means of a meeting, or kind of walk around and tap guys on the shoulder and just a little bit of this, a little bit of that?
I try to do it by just getting a feel for my club that day. And like if we're going to go out and take batting practice, maybe that day you go out and cut it down to 2 rounds and get them off the field. Yeah. Or maybe you'll try to change it up and do something that's a little bit more fun. Try to put something into it just to kind of keep that little adrenaline going a little bit. And because, it is an all-star break, and that's nice, but our focus here is to make sure these guys are ready to play for the Red Sox.
New pitcher in for Toledo, right-hander Jeremy Johnson, whose first pitch to Joe Thurston is in for a strike. Johnson has gone back and forth between the rotation and the bullpen for the Mud Hens this season. 4 up, 2 down, a 5.44 ERA. 1-1 to Joe Thurston. Joe had 3 hits in the All-Star game last night.
Joe Thurston's a good player. We've seen it through the year. I don't care what happens here, but there's a big reason. Joe Thurston's a big reason why the offense on this team is That's done when it's done. Ooh, there they go. That'll probably be the last we talk, boys, until this gentleman's done hitting.
Here he comes for the second time in the inning. David Big Papi Ortiz, he lined a homer into the bullpen in right to get this 7-run inning started. And he takes ball 1 from Johnson. The last Pawsox player to hit 2 home runs in 1 inning, in case you're interested, Kelly Shopik, now playing for the Indians.
What year was that, Dan?
That was
with
2005 with Ron Johnson managing him.
I bet I threw BP to him that day.
Without a doubt.
There ain't no doubt about that.
Hitters count, 2 balls and a strike to Big Papi.
Of course, you see how far down the line I'm getting with this big fella up.
I tell you what, he came very close to taking your head off in batting practice.
Did you see that? I tell you what, I hardly couldn't throw after that.
Hot smash glove by first baseman Fernando Seganol, and the inning is over. Well done, RJ.
You guys, you want me to leave it on? Let's just leave it on.
Sounds good to us. What an inning for the Pawsox. 7 runs on 6 hits, including 3 home runs. The first off the bat of Big Papi, David Ortiz. Our score after 4, Pawtucket 7, Toledo nothing on Cox Sports.